Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Insomnia Builders. You might be wondering where I'm at. I'm kind of in the middle of what looks like a densely wooded area. And that's because I have went and located the nearest stronghold near me, near my base. I am currently about 2,300 blocks away from zero. It's about 2,000 blocks away from my base, or just over that. So today we're going to go ahead and I've already kind of jumped in here and did cleared out the vast majority of it. I didn't get absolutely everything, and I might come back eventually and try to get a little bit more out of it, because I think it stretches out a little bit further than I bothered to explore. Obviously, I didn't even go down like this direction. The problem is that like this one seems to be divided by like a ravine. Right in the middle, so it makes it a little bit difficult to explore the entirety of it. I did not mean to place that. But what we're going to do today is we're actually going to fight the Ender Dragon. And the reasoning for that is, well, for one, I want to get an Elytra. And two, we actually need an Elytra in order to I found a design I want to use to break Bedrock over in the nether. And the easiest way to do it in 1.13 actually involves having the Elytra. And so we'll see that shortly after we have it. But like I said, today, the first order of business is to go and fight the Ender Dragon. So I'd already come here. I placed what I did have. I brought hopefully enough to finish it out. And there we go. Oh, that's a cool effect. I always like that. That's really cool. But we're going to go ahead and jump in. We're going to fight the Ender Dragon. I'm really bad at holding conversation while I'm trying to concentrate, so this next part, fighting the Ender Dragon, is going to just be a time lapse. You guys can see me do it. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and do that, and I will join back up with you guys once it's complete. Alright, we finished fighting the dragon. That took much longer than I would actually care to admit. As you saw, I ran into quite a few difficulties. I'm really not that good at fighting the dragon. I'm not ever going to pretend like I am. I brought my camera account on because I was going to try to do like an overhead recording, but it didn't really work out. But yeah, so that's unfortunate. But we have we've beaten the dragon. We could jump back through there to go back to the overworld, or we have one of these portals over here. I don't think I have enough blocks though. But luckily, you can just mine out this area here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and mine out some blocks. I'll jump back with you guys once we go through the portal there. Alright, I went ahead and built a staircase up to here, just using some of the end stone, and I'm ready to go through. We have one pearl to get back if need be, or we have more than one pearl, but we'll throw it through, and okay, that was a little delayed. I am wearing a carved pumpkin. I have a like texture pack on that removes the fog, that's why. It doesn't look like I'm wearing one, which is fine, because I hate that. That's why I got it to begin with. Our goal is I want to get a few shulker, so I can make some shulker boxes, but I'm really wanting an elytra, real bad. So that's going to be my goal. I'm not going to show myself fighting through these cities, but I just want to show you, show me getting here. And there's a ship already, so we're going to have an elytra right off the bat. So let me go through and fight this, and I guess at this point, I'll just meet back up with you guys once I've gotten back to the base. Alright, just flying in to our base. We got our elytra, we brought rockets with us. But yeah, we got what we wanted. So I'm gonna go in kind of for the landing. I'm not very good at landing, but that seemed to do the trick. So overall, pretty successful. We got a number of things. Our elytra, we do need to put some enchantments on. I actually picked up a second one as well. So I need to go ahead and enchant those so that they don't break on me. And then our next bit, kind of to redeem myself for kind of the crappy dragon fight earlier. I think to redeem myself for that, let's also go ahead and break some bedrock here to end the video. So I'm going to go ahead and rest up. I'm going to get my stuff enchanted the way I want, get unpacked from the trip to the end, and I'll meet you guys over in the nether here shortly. Alright, I'm here above the nether now, near an area where Chin had actually gotten through the surface using a minecart and a boat. I have found a pretty easy way to break bedrock. Relatively easy. We'll see if it works on the server. Fingers crossed. I started setting this up. This piston is going to be the center point for where the block actually breaks below it. So we put some obsidian on one side. We put down a block of redstone on the other, forcing that to go up. We can switch this out for that. And this is basically this is the only setup required for it. Let's see real quick before we start. But basically we're going to put some TNT down on the block. We're going to activate the elytra, go underneath the stair here, and we're basically going to put another piston down upside down as this one's exploding and hope everything works. It doesn't necessarily work every time, so we'll try a few attempts here on camera and see if we can get it to work. So here we go. Alright, so that's a decent sign so far. It's pointing up. But it didn't work. Alright, I don't know if this is directional, like if the direction you're facing matters. But people were saying this one doesn't necessarily work every single time. But it's one of the easiest setups, so you can basically reset and keep trying again and again. Some of the other ones involve like headless pistons and stuff, and honestly I don't really know anything about that sort of thing. So we're just gonna try this a few more times. Hope we can get it. Let's see. Here we go. Hurry. I think that place sideways, not upside down. It's one of those things where sometimes you can get it to work in your creative world, like your single player world, just fine. But on servers, you sometimes have a little bit more difficulty getting these things to actually do what you want them to. I can't remember. This one, I think, was labeled as one that we could... Here, we better pick up that boat. This one I think was labeled as one that we could use on a server, but I don't know. It's also going to vary greatly depending on your server as well. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and keep going. We'll be back. All right, so that seemed to have worked that time. I think the key is actually, I think you have to be pretty much the only one on the server. As soon as I logged, as you saw there, I'm going to time lapse that previous part. But as you saw there, as soon as I logged my camera account off, I was able to do it basically on the first try. Let's go ahead and set his boat back just because I don't want to steal that. It won't really be as necessary anymore because we do have this. Like I said, this is the ladder that he had connected up before, but now we actually have basically an open path here to the ceiling. And what I'm going to do in the meantime is I have the coordinates written down that's closer over back to where our stuff is. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to punch another hole, hopefully, in the roof over there. See if we can get it kind of on the first try. In fact, we can just kind of keep rolling here on the footage. We need to get to negative 6546, so it's actually back here a little bit. Almost a straight shot here to the west. But yeah, I'm glad that worked. It's not super difficult. It just, apparently you can't have any other distractions on the server in terms of things that are taking resources away. Oh, I'm getting off track here. Anyway, so yeah, we just want to make sure we're doing the right thing here. Let's see, 65, 46. I'm going with the block. The block, not the XYZ, but the one that says block below it. That's what I used back at my place. So this is where the piston will go, here in the middle. All right, let's try this one more time. Let's try and see if we can do this on camera on the first try. So obsidian goes to one side, block of redstone goes to the other. I could swap that out for my stairs. Stairs goes here. Then we'll just kind of alternate the TNT and then get the piston ready. But yeah, I mean, this doesn't take too terribly long as it's kind of working on the first try. All right, let's go. Okay, that one on the side, not upside down, so that did not work. All right, let's go again. I mean, some of it is like my own trial and error, you know what I mean? That should be upside down. Do it. Nope. So basically, you have to count on like the right conditions at the right time. So this one isn't super consistent. However, if you have enough resources and you can just kind of keep redoing it, it'll eventually work. And I think that you might have some different results depending on whether you do it on a single player world versus a server. Like I said, on this one, I had to do it several attempts, as you saw in that previous bit of footage. But otherwise, yeah, it's not wanting to cooperate right now. But at least you guys kind of know that process, and if you wanted to try this, you can. Like I said, it's not the most, obviously the most consistent. However, like I said, this is all you need resource-wise. Like, in terms of resources, this is pretty damn cheap in terms of punching holes in the roof. A lot of other designs require you to mess with kind of the headless pistons and all that stuff, and honestly, I know nothing about that. And hell, even if I did know something about it, I've watched some of those videos. It takes them forever to get it set up. Alright. Well, once again, let's go ahead and I'll just keep trying again and again, and we'll see if this works. Alright, so yeah, unfortunately, ran out of materials, ran out of the TNT, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to finish this. At least not for this section. At least we got the one punched out back where we kind of said we were going to, back where we wanted for Chin. So at least we have one way to get up here, and now Chin has to build us a blaze farm. Oh, it would help if I changed my controls back. I had to change my controls because for my item place, because I didn't. There for a while, I was thinking that my mouse just wasn't registering clicking fast enough in order for that to work. So I switched it to my keyboard, thinking that my keyboard would maybe be a little bit more successful. I can't take off from the ground. Oh, there we go. Sweet. But as you can see, we have the one hole. Oop, let's not smash into the floor. We do need to repair this Elytra soon. But yeah, I mean, we have a way to get in and out now, so at least we have one of them working. I'm gonna have to try some other, either some other methods, or I'll just have to go gather more materials in order to try to punch at least a few more holes in. That way we don't have to walk all the way over here to this side of the nether before we go to the roof. But what we're gonna do between this episode and next, I'm gonna go ahead and work on punching more holes in the ceiling, like I said, and I'm gonna start gathering materials to build a gold farm. I have plans to build a gold farm, very high up in the sky there. Thing is, if you build up high enough, then you don't have to worry about anything spawning below you. I know that in 1.13 there is the mechanic now where spawning, basically the game gives preferential treatment to lower spawning platforms. So spawns generally are going to be better if you're lower down, but that won't matter because if we're up high enough, that nothing's going to spawn down here anyway. And if we make it so that the only spawnable spot is up there in the sky, then that won't matter. The only time that basically the mechanic where building lower is better, that's for things like slime farms, and things where you're going to be building it around other spawnable areas. So things in the overworld, things, like I said, slime farms are about the top example for that. Just because they have to be in a slime chunk and below a certain height level in order for them to spawn. So at that point, your best bet is to build it as low as you can. But like I said, if we're up high enough in the sky there, we won't have any spawnable spots below us anyway, so it's not anything to worry about. But anyway, so that's kind of our plan going forward, is to build that gold farm. And not really so much for the gold. I mean, the gold will be nice for getting beacons and stuff down the road. But ultimately, it's going to be helpful for the experience. So it's going to be an XP thing, which, I mean, you look at my XP bar right now, I have 90 levels. That's great, but it's to help repair this kind of stuff. It's not necessarily to actually keep your levels. It's for repairing your mending gear. Gold is obviously very useful as well. But yeah, so that's going to be kind of my plan. Hopefully next episode, maybe by then we'll even be building it. But we're going to go back to the base, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Today we were pretty successful. Beat the Ender Dragon, maybe not the best performance you've ever seen. And got at least one hole punched in the nether ceiling. So I'll look at that as a success, because at least if we have one, that's better than nothing. So we'll go ahead and do that. But anyway, we'll go ahead and catch you guys next time.